Speaker Johnson has gone on a rampage against Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, blasting their list of demands in order to reopen the government. The latest unhinged demand is $4 million worth of funding for a global LGBTQIA+ awareness campaign.
Things like $4 million for global LGBTQI+ awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI+ democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that. But again, the question is why? Why? This sounds crazy. It is. Why would they do this? And what we saw on vivid display over the weekend was the re-emphasis of this fact. This is motivated purely out of fear.
This is only the latest after weeks of equally as unreasonable demands from Schumer and the Democrats, including $1.5 trillion in new blowout spending on initiatives like free healthcare for illegals.
Just look at the wish list, the hostage list that Chuck Schumer filed weeks ago, his demands that he said have to be met before he'll even open up the government again. $1.5 trillion in new unrelated spending Chuck Schumer demanded, including, yes, eliminating all the verifications so that illegals will get taxpayer-funded health care. That's in Chuck Schumer's bill. Chuck Schumer guts the $50 billion rural hospital fund to give taxpayer-funded health benefits to illegals in his hostage demands. That's not going to happen. And so when are we going to have a rational conversation? When are Democrats going to actually become serious in this discussion where they say, let's open up the government and start talking about our differences, about how we're going to get this country back on track?
But Donald Trump is not having any of it, maintaining he will not move an inch in ceding to Schumer's demands.
Well, I think it's a shame that it's shut down because we have the greatest economy, as you were saying before. We have the greatest economy in the world right now, by far, the United States. We have almost 18, now it was 17, now it's $18 trillion being poured into our country, and it's no time for shutdowns. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing, but it's too bad for a lot of people. We have a lot of good people that aren't working right now that should be, and it's because the Democrats want to try and renegotiate a deal that they had negotiated. They want $1.5 trillion given to illegal immigrants who came into the country, and it's going to hurt the health care of citizens of our country that have been paying into it, that have been working hard for it, that really deserve it. So we're never going to do that. It's not going to happen.
But Chuck Schumer is not relenting. Just hours ago, Chuck Schumer blocked the clean continuing resolution, which would allow federal employees to continue being paid. This has led to the largest federal workers' union to break ranks with the Democrats and call for an end to the shutdown, so all their members can be paid. The president of the American Federation of Government Employees, Everett Kelly, wrote a stern statement shared with NBC News saying, "It's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. It's time for our leaders to start focusing on how to solve problems for the American people, rather than on who is going to get the blame for a shutdown that Americans dislike." The pressure from their allies in the union has the Democrats spooked.
Hearing from this union, as you said, Everett Kelly, you called him a good leader, hearing them effectively side with Republicans and the president, does that have an impact on you?
Of course it does. I felt strongly for this union. Everett's a friend and is doing a good job, but we also feel strongly for these families and the possibility that other Republican actions are going to be closing hospitals and clinics and nursing homes across this country. This is a crisis situation. We should resolve it as quickly as possible.
It does not change the strategy that Democrats have employed so far when it comes to this shutdown, stare down.
No, as a matter of fact, I think we can resolve this matter as soon as the president's willing to sit down with Republican leaders and Democratic leaders.
Schumer and the Democrats are being blasted for leaving federal workers in a state of desperation, like this worker who has been forced to line up for food banks.
Federal workers waiting in long lines at this food bank in southern Maryland.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
But while Schumer and the Democrats are playing politics with the livelihoods of the American people, J.D. Vance is carrying on with his job and thankfully announced that he has secured a way for military personnel to be paid this week, despite the shutdown, according to Bloomberg.